Hello builders, and welcome to another building video. In this one I have for you the cassowaries, the modern living dinosaurs. And they are going right in the middle of our building we're naming it the Ratite Retreat. Of course, Ratite being the name for flightless birds like cassowaries, and also the kiwis and the emus, which are also sharing this area. The emus will be showing up in my next video coming soon, and of course the kiwis were in the previous video. If you want to see that build, it will be in the link down below. Of course, in that build, you'll also see me building the vast majority of this structure. And now let's get on to doing the actual building of this exhibit. The first thing we gotta do is take that terrain tool and start carving away and just start planning out the rough shape for the exhibit. I never like my exhibits being flat, so of course we gotta make sure this exhibit is anything but that. The lower half of the exhibit will have a beautiful waterfall for guests to lean over and take a look at the cassowaries. And the top half will be equipped with a feeding and viewing area for guests to get a nice close personal look at these giant dinosaurs. Okay, maybe not giant. They're like medium. No, even medium would be pushing it. They're small. They're definitely small when you compare them to all those old dinosaur bones. But hey, they're the closest thing to dinosaurs we got, and I'm going to love them. Although I certainly won't get up close to them. Have you ever seen a cassowary? I would not walk into an exhibit with them, I can tell you that. They would tear you up, I am sure. Have you seen their feet? Man, they got some claws on them. Anyone who says that they could take on a cassowary in a fight is lying, or they are very, very drunk. And there I go on a weird tangent again in one of my videos. How often does that happen? Probably all the time. I'm not counting. But hey, we're not here to talk about feet. There are other places on the internet to go do that, so go take care of that somewhere else, you weirdos. Alright, let's get on to talking about the building. As you see while I was ranting, we were building a nice little cave for the cassowaries to hang out in, equipped with some rocks and some branches just to make it look more like a giant bird nest. Do cassowaries actually build nests like that? I have no idea, but I just like the look of it, so we're doing it. Now we come back to fine-tuning the terrain details, making room for a waterfall and raising up the back half of the exhibit so guests can have a nice look at the cassowaries when we build the viewing area. The viewing area primarily serves for chance for guests to get nice and close to the cassowaries, other than, in their sleeping viewing area as we will have down below. This is just a nice raised area where we can see them eating and feeding, and guests can consider getting in there with the cassowaries and giving them a good old fight. Of course, the guests are going to lose that fight, and we'll have them sign waivers before they enter the exhibit. Yet, it's all in the name of entertainment for the guests who were intelligent to not get in there and fight the cassowaries. Those guests get a lovely little show from the sidelines. And the guests who manage to survive the cassowary encounter get a t-shirt that says, "I fought the cassowary and lost." You might be saying, hey, but what if they win? Do they get a "I fought the cassowary and win" shirt? Well, you know what? It's never happened. So we're not even printing them. And back to the building. We're doing a mix of the red rock theme, which is throughout the rest of the Australian area, and a little bit more of a tropical wall theme as well, just to suit the cassowaries being a more tropical environment than the rest of the Australian animals. Overall, just a slight mix of the two themes, and I think we pulled it off pretty well. Mostly the red rock is just on the back wall where we have the cassowary cave painting. And of course, as I love to do in this zoo, we are mixing in the rocks with the actual building pieces just to create that more natural feel and help guests get away with that escapism to make them feel like they're out in the wild. For the roof, we're just using these nice curved pieces because I've used them elsewhere in the Australian and New Zealand build area. And I figured it'd be a good chance to use them again to link this habitat with the rest of the Australian area. Of course, we are trying to match the colors of cassowaries, being blue and red and black, for the roof. I don't know if I'd use those color palettes anywhere else but here for the cassowaries, but hey, it really seems to fit these giant dinosaur birds. And this giant flat section we have coming in here, I'd copied from another building I had created that used a very similar roof, and it just magically seemed to fit in. Always be willing to copy paste stuff you've done before, and it will just save you so much time. And it has the added benefit of linking your buildings together in a cohesive theme. But hey, now that we got the building complete and the terrain done, it's time to get to one of my favorite parts of the building. That's right, it's the rock work, the stone work. It's my work. My true zen moment in any stream is when I am just putting rock after rock and I'm just chatting away and just rambling on, and then before I know it, We got a strong foundation of rock all placed in. And as I was doing with the building above, we are doing a mix of the tropical rock and the Australian desert red rock. The red rock will be more on the outskirts of this area, specifically more around the train, and then the moss and the regular tropical rock will be on the interior of the habitat. And speaking of the train, it is worth knowing that this train station is going to go around my entire zoo and is stopping off in each section of the zoo in their own custom train stations. And that's saying a lot considering this zoo is going to have every single animal in it and by the end of it. And currently we are at 124 animals of recording this video. It's going to be one big zoo, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm in it for the long haul. We've been building this zoo for about 7 months and we're just going to keep going. Oh, and look at that. It's a waterfall. I love waterfalls and I try to squeeze them in every chance I get. Just love having natural water sources come and feed the animals. And what better way to feed that water source than with a waterfall? I do love me some waterfalls. I think you do too. I think anyone who loves this game needs to put more waterfalls in it. And hey, if you need to learn how to do a waterfall, maybe stop by my stream and I'll give you some demonstrations of some different kinds of waterfalls you can build in your habitats. Link to the stream and the Discord is down below. We got a real great community on the Building Nerds Discord, and there's always people willing to help teach you a few things about the Planet Zoo. I always love decorating the back half of my buildings with rocks. It helps cement it in that wild look I'm going for this whole zoo, but also doubles as me being lazy and not wanting to have to design the back half of a building that no one's going to see. And one thing I recommend doing when you're working on giant rock walls like this, create one section of the rock wall and just copy and paste it over. It will save you loads of time, and if you're worried about the rock walls looking a little bit more duplicated, then just cover them up with a couple plants. The plants will really hide any flaws in the rock work, and the plants will bring your whole habitat to life quite literally. And speaking of plants, let's get on with the real decorating of the habitat. I'm going to be quiet for a little bit and just let you enjoy some tree and bush placement. So, here we go! In the middle of decorating, I realized that the bridge needed a little bit extra work and looked a little boring. So we're just going to add some wood to the bottom and the sides of it, and then later on we'll add the railing. And just like that, the vast majority of the plant work is complete. I always love layering the plants together and just creating tons of overlapping bits of foliage, because in real life plants are constantly fighting for space, and there's a secret war going on in the plant kingdom where they are always trying to choke each other out, kill each other, and just win and get as much nutrients for themselves. Which is why in my gardening for Plant Zoo, I just love to go crazy with it and just have plants everywhere without real any rhyme or reason to how the plants go in. It's just wherever they can fit them. If it looks nice, they're going in. And it's around this time of the build that I add in our beloved cassowaries. I have them in and I can start double checking to see if they can path around the exhibit properly. And if it all looks good, then I continue on building and we let them get on with their life. All that's really left to do is to add in some vines and some railing so guests don't fall in and die when they're looking at the cassowaries. You know, we can't have that. They have to sign that waiver before they go in there. Now, this video was a particularly short one because I had constructed most of the viewing area in the previous video for the Kiwis. If you enjoyed the shorter format, let me know and maybe I will edit the videos to be a little bit shorter in the future. Or if you like the longer winded videos, I can keep doing those ones as well. Now this is the time of the video where I have to say goodbye and do that proper outro that YouTubers apparently do, like, you know, why don't you leave that like and comment down below and ring that bell and da 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 da. You've heard it all before. I'm not going to make you do it, but if you do it, I'm going to like it and we might just become friends in the future. And if you like Plant Zoo, building games, or just a chill time, why don't you click that link down below for my Twitch channel and give me a follow over there. Anyone who ends up following me over there gets their name in the zoo on one of my many follower boards, and it will eventually one day down the road be uploaded to the workshop for others to enjoy. So get your name in the zoo now while space is limited. What's the limit? I don't know. I'll figure it out when I eventually run out of space. So with the whole spiel over with and the end of the video coming, there's only one thing left to do. It's to end it with a nice cinematic route tour through the cassowary habitat. I hope you enjoyed another building, and the next one will be the emus coming soon. Now builders, I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.